Hello guys, welcome back to a new series of a new what ifs. Now if you watched my update video, which you probably haven't, I said I was going to branch off my academia what ifs. To be honest, when I never even knew about what ifs. I had heard about what ifs, but I just totally overlooked them because I thought they were stupid. Okay, but I actually like what ifs are actually kind of good. But of course, My Academia what ifs weren't the first what ifs I ever watched. They were actually Naruto what ifs. But anyway, I used to watch that one dude, Anime X, do it because his voice sounded really nice. No homo. Anyway, this is what if Bill had one for all, and this is just a picture. Anyway. This starts at the beginning of the anime. Bell is being chased by the Minotaur as it it blocks him in a corner. Now I know there is one just like this, like what if Bell had the one for all, but he stopped making his, and I actually thought of this idea after I forgot about his, so it doesn't really count as me stealing it. But Bell is, in the dungeon as he's wondering, as he's running away from the Minotaur. After running, the Minotaur finds Bell. As Bell slumps down, waiting to be killed, the Minotaur starts punching the wall. Bell said, "No, I can't die here. I won't!" As he punches the Minotaur so hard that just as Ice comes behind the Minotaur, that there's such wind pressure, Ice is sent into the wall and is knocked out as Bell's arm is broken. Bet asks what Bell did to Ice, and Bell says, "I did nothing." Bet tries to attack Bell, but Bell evades Bet's kick as he runs off. Bet wants to go chase, Bell. He has to check on Ice, make sure she's not dead. He checks on Ice. She's just like mind down or knocked out. Isn't mind down when you know it's mind zero or mind down? But she'll be okay. A few minutes later, Revelia comes and heals or like wakes her up. Bell runs as he's not covered in blood this time, but he asks, but, I mean, he does ask about Ice Wallenstein because he does feel bad. But anyway, he cashes in his magic stones and go home. Now, at the guild, Bell's arm was broken, but at the guild, they gave him some potions, because there are potions, but apparently there's a way to apply them wrongly, so if you broke your bone, you actually have to put it back in place before applying the potion, or else you will be healed, but your bone will be out of place. They put Bell's bones out of place and put the potion there. Fixing it as Bell goes home. He goes home to Goddess Hestia. Goddess Hestia jumps on Bell, asking if his day was okay. Bell says yes. I mean, while eating their potato croquettes, while eating the potato croquettes, Bell tells Goddess Hestia about what happened to him. Goddess Hestia asks, what does he mean? Goddess Hestia checks Bell's status. He has a skill called One for All. And she's like, this is a rare skill. I'm replacing Realis phrase with One for All. Sorry, something happened to me. I'm replacing Realis phrase with One for All. Anyway, Hestia tells Bell about the skill. Now, I am going to have him level up the same way he did, just 'cause you'll see. But, Hestia tells Belle about the skill because it's not like there's no reason to hide it. She explains how the skill will give him tremendous strength and a boost in all of his stats. Well, the more he masters it, the more boost he'll get, you know. Hestia asks to see it again. Belle throws a giant punch, like destroying like lots of buildings around him. Like, cause remember they live in a deserted area. He destroys lots of churches, but his arm is broken again. You know, Hestia, they apply the potion, and Belle's arm is fixed. Hestia says, it's a really powerful attack, but it doesn't work if you keep breaking your arms. Hestia says, maybe one day, maybe one day you'll understand it. Anyway, the next day, Belle wakes up, said, and starts walking as he sees some purple eyes looking at him. He looks around like a crazy person, but there's no one around him. As he turns around to see Seer, she says sorry for starting him and gives him the stone that he dropped. Belle says thank you. Seer asks if Belle's an adventurer, besides the fact he was carrying knives, wearing armor, and obviously walking in the direction of the dungeon. But Belle says yes, I am. Just as Belle's stomach starts growling. Seer gives Belle some food to take in the dungeon or to eat right there. Belle refuses to accept it because she's a stranger, but she said Seer says that it's okay. He, he can repay her by eating at the place. With that, Belle goes, to the dungeon. Now, I don't remember what Belle did in this moment. When did she... Oh, yeah. Belle goes to the dungeon, and he just does what he would normally have done. Well, that's the problem. Is Belle still gonna get that knife? Nah. Anyway, Belle, I know what I'll give him. Anyway, Belle, goes back. His stats has improved, Goddess Hestia has to run the food cart, because in my mind, I truly believe even if Goddess Hestia wasn't mad at Belle, she still would have had to run the food cart anyway. But anyway, Goddess Hestia has to run the food cart, as Belle is home alone. He decides to just go out to eat. As he goes to the Hostess of Fertility, which is the place where, he normally goes. Mamma Mia and Seer and Yu. Anyway, he goes there, and, Seer's like, you made it, as Belle starts to eat. Now, Belle does have a little more cash on him, because let's say when he killed the Minotaur, he picked up the Minotaur stone. He's like, this is a Minotaur stone. He saw eyes, and he quickly put it in his pocket and went to go check on her. Not to be greedy, but it's like, phone and then you see somebody fall on the ground, you're gonna put that phone in your pocket without thinking about it. So he didn't steal it. Anyway, now he's at the pub as the Loki familiar walks in. At that moment, Belle wants to leave because he just feels so bad about what he did about the eyes. It may have been an accident, but still. As all the familiars walks in. Anyway, Bet, being drunk, asks Ayas about the dude who attacked her. Ayas says she didn't really get a good look at the dude. Bet says he did. the dude had a... Belle was covered in blood. This because this part. Beth said the dude was covered in blood. And that's all he really saw before he ran away. Anyway, after that, Beth's, being drunk, starts talking smack and how he's gonna kill the dude, and Belle starts to get a little, shaken. And, Belle starts to get a little shaken. Ice then says, I don't think he meant to do it. And Beth starts talking trash, which result in Belle running out. I think I'm gonna go as long as I can right here. It's because I don't want to really make a part 2 quickly, I don't want to make part 2 right now, like probably in like a week or so. Belle runs to the dungeon as, Beth's like, hey, that's the kid. That's the dude. But at this point, Beth's already tied up. Belle then, runs to the dungeon. Belle runs to the dungeon and, just fights a little. He comes back with a broken arm and bloody everywhere. Goddess, they heal his wounds and his broken arm again. And, well, that's all. Goddess Hestia tells Belle that she'll be going out for a party. Well, there's 2 main reasons she's going to this party. Well, I guess Belle just goes to the dungeon. He's kind of hoping for better gear. But he just goes to the dungeon. Anyway, while he's just doing whatever he was doing, Belle, Belle, Belle then, while Hestia's at the party, Hestia goes to talk to Mioch. She asks Mioch for some advice about Belle. She talks to Takumi Atsushi and Mioch about advice for Belle. Takumi Atsushi says that maybe he should cut the power in half and not use 100%. And Mioch says, maybe he should, only use what he needs to use. It feels like he's wasting the power in all his punches. With this, Hestia gets the idea. I had to make a way for full cowling. I'm sorry, you guys. Anyway, now, uh, she decides to go eat because she's hungry, and this is where she meets Loki again. No, this is where she meets Loki. They have their argument, Freya, everything happens the same way. Now Hephaestus is here. Nothing's too different here. She asks Hephaestus to make Bill a weapon, or like a support item, or like a weapon. After time skip, they're in Hephaestus' house, and Hestia is just asking Hephaestus. And after lots of asking, Hestia persuades Hephaestus. Hephaestus asks what type of weapon Belle likes, but Hestia says he prefers a knife. But Hestia says, wait, we're not here for a weapon. We're here for a tool, an item. Hestia tells Hephaestus about Belle's thing. If you watch the My Hero Academia first movie, then you know what I'm about to make. They tell what they're about to make Belle. Anyway, Belle decides to go to the dungeon. No, wait, Mioch wasn't even at the party. I'm gonna change it. He was at the party, okay? you can change stuff in what ifs. I don't really like to, but I'm just doing it for this reason. You know, they tell me, yeah, Belle's walking to go watch Monsterphilia or go to the dungeon or whatever. As Philo, was that her name? Stops Belle. She asks Belle to take the purse to see her as Belle decides to. While walking, Goddess Hestia bumps into Belle, saying, "Hi, Belle, do you miss me?" Belle says yes, as Belle says that he needs to return this wallet. And Hestia says, "You can. Well, we have a date." In the meanwhile, Freya is talking to Loki, and instead of saying his aura is transparent, he has multiple auras, like he has multiple people's auras, and it's transparent too. As Belle runs by, and Freya decides to follow. Hestia and Belle go on their date as normal until the gorilla attacks. They decide to run away from the gorilla. Eventually, it sort of corners them in an abandoned part of town. Belle tries to fight the gorilla, but ends up breaking its armor. Belle ends up breaking his knife and armor. They decide to run away. While running away, they hide behind a box. Hestia says, "Belle, this is for you." As Belle pulls out some small, gloves, Belle asks what they are. Hestia says, "These are magical gloves, Belle. They'll let you harness your power. They can cover your entire forearm. And I know your favorite color is black, so they're black." Belle puts on the gloves as they cover his forearm. He says, "This is amazing." He says, "Go out there, Belle." Belle throws a punch at 100%, which honestly really does hurt his hand. But it's not broken. He throws more punches over and over, really hurting the gorilla. Belle then jumps in the air as he starts to fall down, punching the gorilla on the back of the head, killing it instantly. As Hestia runs to Belle and hugs him. After that, Hestia passes out. Why did Hestia pass out? She didn't get hit. All she was doing was running. Anyway, Hestia, for some reason, passes out. Hestia passes out as Belle takes Hestia to the hostess of fertility instead of a doctor. I'm just saying what I noticed. Why did Hestia pass out? Why did they take Hestia to the place instead of an actual hospital? Come on. There was more. I just forgot what I said. Why did Seer ask Belle if he was an adventurer? Anyway, that's where I'll leave it off. I hope you have a nice day.